it's April. I wanted to come on and let you guys know this is your Patreon annual supporter only file. I don't know if there's going to be another one this month or if it will be next month, but I just wanted to make sure that you guys got at least 2 files this month for that. This card looks complicated, but it isn't. It just has a lot of little pieces. Now, I did print and cut on mine, but you can do panels on yours, whatever you want to do. And if you have any questions about which piece is which in the file, just shoot me a message and I'll be happy to help you out, but I'm pretty sure you can figure it out. Now, in the file, I've got this set as a dark green piece like I'm using here, or teal, whatever you want to call it. This is your main card base. And I don't have anything stamped on mine. I may do some vellum on the inside or a stamp. I haven't decided yet. But you can put whatever you want. And this is kind of like a double message card. It's going to be fun on the front and then room to sign inside and on the mechanism part because it is an interactive card. So you're just going to fold that. And then next we have a white panel that's going to go on here. It is white in the file as well, but you can, again, set this up for your own color scheme. It doesn't have to be Easter, guys. You could set this up for anything. And I got a little bit of a clog going there. Hopefully I got it. There we go. It can be any theme, anything you want. I just did an Easter theme on it since it's close to Easter. Give you guys some things that you can use. And I'm just going to line that up and try to get it even as possible. Let me stand up so I can eyeball that a little bit better, hopefully. So we're gonna place that panel on there. And then I've done a lighter teal panel on mine. I'm not sure it's gonna work like I want it to because I am doing my test cut and mock-up as I go. And I do want to give a shout out to our admin, Marianne Penn. I was really pressed for time and I was falling behind. And I asked if she could make the file for me. And she did an excellent job. I did a little bit of tweaking to it, added a couple of things, but the file she fixed worked perfectly. All I did was flip this piece and add a couple of extra score lines. So I think it was this piece. I hope it was this piece. Oh yeah, it was. I've added 2 score lines on there. So thank you, Mary Ann, for doing that for me. So now we're just going to set this to the side. This part is done for now. That's just our card base. And then we have some decorative elements, which are going to be our little bunnies. And I'm just going to set those off to the side. And our tag there. And this is our mechanism piece. So you've got a piece there that's scored. Now I cut this out of white from my print and cut. And you can cut it out of anything you want. I'm using 80-pound cardstock, so it should be fine. This piece needs to be a little bit heavier. This is 80-pound AC American Crafts Precision cardstock. And so to me it feels just slightly heavier than the Cricut cardstock. If you are using Cricut cardstock, your card is going to work fine. You may want to cut this piece right here from craft paper. It's not going to be seen, so if you want to cut it from craft paper to make sure it's sturdy, you can do that. But if you're using all Cricut cardstock, it should be fine. I don't see where it would matter. But you've got several score lines here. And I can see them. And I'm just going to pinch each one of those. Now, I want to say that Marianne helped me set up this file. I showed her a YouTube video of somebody from Stampin' Up. I believe it was Dawn that did it. But the card was out before that. And the earliest I could find was, I don't know, November. I mean, we've had mechanisms similar to this before, but the idea came from, and I'm probably going to slaughter this lady's name, so I'm going to apologize in advance. I want to say it's Shruti Patel, and I know that's not how you pronounce her first name. And again, I am so very sorry for mispronouncing your name. But I did want to give credit where credit's due. The idea of the card mechanism came from her, and then while I was looking for that, I saw Dawn's, and Dawn's was a little easier to understand, so that's how we created the file. So you folded on all those score lines, and again, this piece isn't going to be seen, so it doesn't have to be beautiful. Don't worry about it. And I'm just giving mine a little curl. It's going to be very easy to curl through those score lines, okay? So that's what this piece is going to look like. It's just going to look all, let me turn the exposure down. I am working on a new camera setup for you guys for this reason. But you can see it's not pretty, but it's not going to be seen, and it's going to work. So you've got that piece, and you set that to the side, and then you've got this piece. Now, I've got it set this way in the file. It really goes sort of like this in the original file, but I turned it around because I've got a textured cardstock, and I wanted that texture to the front. And then I put 2 score lines here, and if we cut it the other way around, then I couldn't get those score lines like I wanted them. So I had to kind of flip it. But you're just going to fold that on that score line, and you can see that one side is shorter than the other, okay? Just like that. Then we have, I don't remember what that piece is for. I'll have to take a look. Oh, yes, I do. I remember now. Then you've got this piece here, and you're just going to fold that on its score line as well. Right there. And then you've got 2 tabs here. You're going to fold those over. Okay. And you're kind of making just a little pocket here. Okay. Super easy, super simple. This is the mechanism piece that's going to go in there and come back out. But you're going to notice those 2 score lines right here on this piece, and they're just guides. You're going to take this piece here, and we're going to, that's the wrong, I want my curl, that's right. So I'm going on this with the, in my hand like a C, I'm putting glue all the way up to that first score line, okay? And then I am going to place it in between those 2 scores. And if you can't see your scores, it's not a big deal. It's just going to go right in the middle and right up to the edge of that card, okay? So I'm just going to rub that glue down, let it get stuck. I know it looks kind of weird right now, but it's going to be fine. And then you're going to place this, you're going to fold that piece back to that first score line. So it looks like this, okay? And if you want to use tear and tape, you can use tear and tape. That's what they use. But I'm just going to bring, what we're going to do is, I want to keep that folded back to that first score line. You're going to bring it right up to the edge. Now you want it center of this one as well. So you want to center here, okay? But you want to bring it right up to where that mechanism is not seen, right up on that edge, just before it peeps out, okay? And now I'm going to fold these tabs out to make it easy on myself here. When holding it in place and you've got it, make sure that you've got it where it needs to be. Don't want that piece to pop out there. You don't want to see it. Then I'm going to place glue on that tab all the way up to its first score line. Okay? And then I'm just going to fold this over. And we're going to give it a rub. Super easy, super simple. Okay? So now it's going to look like this. This is what you got. Then we're going to flip it over. This is what I found to be the easiest. And I'm going to glue this tab and this tab. You don't want to get too much glue. You don't want it to squish out and glue your card together. And then you're just going to fold that back and give that a rub. Okay, so now you can push this in here, and then you'll be able to pull it out. And when you pull it out, that's going to flip back. But I'm going to wait until my glue gets dry, just for that reason. I don't want it on the other side of that channel, because it will get hung up. Get it back in there. And there we have something for that, so that doesn't happen. So just make sure that it's all pressed down and it's good and dry before you work with that. So while that's doing that, this piece, and we're going to tie our ribbon to that, is going to glue right in the center of this teal colored piece. I'm just going to slide it out a little bit so we can work with it. And it's going to go in the center. And you're just going to have a little peek right there at the hole. Okay? And that's where it's going to glue. I'm going to try to get it centered as best that I can. Oh, that's my top. I have a texture on mine, so I want to make sure it goes in the right way. And I was going to weld this piece on instead of gluing it, and then I thought, well, what if you wanted it a different color? And then I turned around and made mine a different color so it stood out. So that was my reasoning behind that. But I was originally going to weld and make it one piece. If you're not going to make a color out of it, you can just weld this piece right in the center and you'll be fine. I'm going to pull this out now. There we go. That looks good. So now I've got that piece on there. I'm maybe a little bit crooked. No, I guess I get it right. So now we have a panel, and that panel is going to go, I'm going to pop that right back in there. You can see it's getting hung right there on these. Now you can fold them to the back and illuminate that all together, or you can do this little decorative piece right here, and it goes right over those. Okay, right into the card, right over those, right up to the edge. So I'm just going to shove that back in there, and it's a little difficult to get to, so if you want to wrap to the back, I did my first prototype wrap to the back and it worked perfectly fine without this piece. I didn't have that problem with it hanging. But you want to make sure that you get the corners of this glued down well. You don't want it pulling up on you. And then we're just going to hold this back and slide it in over those folds. And we're just going to give that a little bit of an edge. I'm just going to take my bone folder and go in there and press that piece down. Okay, so now you can pull it out and it goes back in without any problem, without it hanging up. And all you're doing, again, is just protecting those where you glued those down. So either way you want to do it, you can do it the way I just did, or you can just wrap that piece to the back and glue them, and then you don't need that piece. Okay? Super easy. And then I did a panel for the front of this. We're almost done. The only thing left is to make it pretty. I'm just going to place that on. Give myself a panel there. And this is my front piece. And I know it doesn't probably show up on camera, but this is kind of a beigey color with the, I printed it on white. It's a print cut. This paper came from Creative Fabrica, I believe. Let's see if I can get it to focus in on that. But you can see there's some white stripes through there, so it's kind of like a gingham, and it's really cute. It's just hard to see on camera here, but you can see it in person. And this piece goes on the front. Doesn't have anything on it. All of yours are going to be just in solid colors because I can't upload anything print and cut for my iPad and mobile users. And so I left your file totally blank. Okay. So now I'm going to pull this out. And here I made a panel for this one. And it's just a little bit smaller. And it's going to go there. It's like a 2x3 piece in your file. And I attached the words. He has chocolate on there with a Cricut writing font. And I tried to tie my two colors of panels in together. And these are going to go on the front. So it's going to make sense in just a moment. So I'm going to pull this on open. And I am going to bring this piece in. This is my final piece, and that's what covers this. And again, if you're not doing a two-tone pull, then you can just weld that piece on and skip that step that I did there. This is so cute. I'm just going to glue that down. And I put the chocolate bunny on that one with his ears bitten, and it says, huh? I promise it's going to make sense. And then this one says, Happy Easter. And we're going to put that one right in there. And push that in. And now we're going to put on our bunnies. And I don't remember which order I had these. I think I had the purple one on the front. And I am going to, you guessed it, dimensional dot mine up with my thin foam dots from Close to My Heart. If you need these, Judy LaRue, one of our admins, she is a Close to My Heart consultant. She'll be happy to help you with anything you need from them. So I'm just going to put a couple on there. I'm going to place him right there. And I'm going to do one more just so I don't have any sag in the middle. Pull off those release liners. And this one says, Follow the Bunny. Pop that right on there. And then we're going to pull that open. And it says, He has chocolate. And that's where my yellow bunny goes. And I'm not going to pop this one up because it does slide into this mechanism. So I'm just going to glue him down. And if you have any glue squish out, you'll want to wait until you close that so that you don't. I'm going to pull that back. And then we're going to put this guy right there. And this one I can pop up. So I'm going to pop him up. Why not? We're going to peel that back. And then I'm going to do some Nuvo drops or glaze drops for my eyeballs on those. And I've got to put my ribbon on there. And then this is going to go right on the front of this card. So I'm going to pause for a second and grab my ribbon because I forgot it. And then we will glue this down and we'll be done. Okay. And I just got a little bit of teal ribbon here. Let me grab my scissors. Those are always helpful. I'm just going to pull this out. I'm going to fold it in half and poke it through. And then I'm going to loop it just like that. I always cut way too much ribbon. Okay, now we have that on there. I like to put just a dot of glue behind my ribbons, especially these organza ribbons, because they always want to pull loose. So I'm just going to hold that for a second on there. Give it a second to dry. And then we're just going to put glue on the back. And make sure you get those edges and corners good. Don't want to be ripping the front of the card. Then I'm going to place it right down in the center. Or what I think is center. We're just going to give that a good push. How stinking cute is this? And I have a really nice box planned for everybody for next week, even though we won't be live on the 29th. I will be doing a recorded tutorial. But again, here we have follow the bunny. Oops, I'm out of focus. Here we go. So we're going to say follow the bunny, and he has chocolate. And you pull it open. It says Happy Easter. And then the chocolate bunny with his ears bitten. Huh, how cute. And then, of course, you have some room here to write if you want. I left it to the side for that purpose on mine. And then you can also stamp or write on the inside. Super fun, super cute. I hope you guys enjoy this file. And if you have any questions with it, please just don't hesitate to ask, and I will help you and walk you through anything that you're not understanding. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you on the next video. Please give a thumbs up and a like. See you later. Happy crafting.